It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas and sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas and Sunrise on this fabulous Friday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning, TGIF to you. I am Philip Simon Jr.
And it is always a pleasure to be in your company. He's Philip Simon Jr. today, so you never know.
Absolutely.
You just never know you're going to get on a Friday
You never
morning.
know.
How was the week, Phil?
I don't even remember it, actually. But I believe March is what, tomorrow? Day after tomorrow?
Yeah, Sunday.
Is it a leap
It's a
year?
leap year.
Oh, yeah.
It's a leap
I
year.
saw something that said February 29th. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm actually, one of my girlfriends gets married tomorrow on the leap year.
Really?
Which is pretty exciting and totally upper alley because she is
Yeah.
a type of oddball.
Wow. So she's going to be celebrating every 4 years.
Every 4 years, totally upper alley. I just hope she remembers it because I wouldn't be surprised if she does it. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks that I guess just kind of flew by under the radar. A lot more scares with coronavirus becoming very relevant now that it's taking over Europe and moving into the US.
Right. And I thought about that this week, and I'm like, boy, okay, so what do we do?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the strategy? What's the plan? I'm sure the relevant authorities are talking about it, but then, in our individual homes, are we prepared? I mean, do we have supplies? Do we have the masks? I mean, we see all of the memes, and some people are making light of it in different places, but once it hits these shores or hits home, is this word? Right? What do we do? Right?
No, I think that's important. So there is some information out there, and obviously I'm sure we'll have health officials on the show at some point to discuss it.
Yeah.
But you want to remember, of course, your basic hygiene things. So you should always wash your hands. You want to keep your sanitizer in your bag, but remember that sanitizer does not account for washing of hands.
Right.
And so a lot of people think they can get away with just putting sanitizer on and moving along.
Yeah.
But if you read the back of the bottle, it does say as soon as possible to wash hands. And so you want to do that. You want to make sure that you've stocked up on medication, so much like a hurricane, where you're not sure when you'll be able to go again. But you have to appreciate that in 2 to 3 months, you'll probably feel the world's impact of this based on supplies and transit and trade and commerce. So what are the medications that you need in case you do get sick and you don't want to go out into public? What do your kids need? Do you have your dry goods stored up? So much like early preparation for a hurricane, I think that's probably one of the best ways that we could prepare for something like this.
Right. I mean, you hit the. I mean, and when you talk about commerce and the economy, I mean, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then we got this thing, especially amongst people of color, when we greet each other, you got snap. It ain't just a regular type of handshake.
No. And I know you have to hug everybody.
Right, exactly, right.
And so with that in mind, you just want to make sure that you're being as cautious as possible. We are in a tourism zone, and so even for those of us that say, well, we're not traveling internationally, we have many international people coming here.
Correct.
And they're coming into the airports, they're coming in through cruise ships, and they're always obviously interacting. So if it does become global, it will impact us at some point. So we just want to make sure that you're taking the best precautions while not living in fear and anxiety, because that doesn't help either.
No, it doesn't help at all. But listen, you still got us. You got us. On another Friday, the Ministry of Tourism is here.
Okay.
All right. We have the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. That's always a good one down there in Exuma, of course. One of the most beautiful places on earth. Dr. Lightburn is here to talk about pediatric health. February has been Heart Month.
Indeed.
All right, Heart Month. And I almost want to call him doctor. Is he a doctor?
He's
Hubert
not.
Edwards?
He's not.
Hubert Edwards is
But
back.
I'm sure you don't have to doubt that he will be
At some point. Talk about leadership, which to me is always where it starts and always where it ends. And your live weekend calendar, lots still going on.
Right, and of course we've been celebrating HBCUs all month. As we're winding down to the end of Black History Month, of course today we're closing out our last show. So we're focusing on Morehouse University, Harry and Howard Universities, of course great schools. We know so much about them. And the Ministry of Health will also talk about podiatry community outreach clinics that are opening soon. And then Zonter's here. They're about to celebrate again those Centennial Awards happening here in the Bahamas. And so we're going to be speaking with them on that this morning. So it's going to be a great show, a full show. before we get to any of that, though, it is supposed to be a chilly weekend in store for us.
Put on my jacket this
Yeah,
morning.
man. Godfrey told me it's going to be cold, so I went to put my shirt, you know, I'm just doing a lot. Trying to protect me and the baby. But here is Godfrey Burnside with our first look at weather.
Weather at sunrise. Brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
I'm glad you're patient. Thank you, Star. In the morning, Bahamas. Your first look at weather. Sunrise, no stars. Now it's cool. Clouds hung around, but tomorrow morning will be a little much cooler than this morning. We do have a cold front now over the southeastern islands, Meguani, Nago, Crooked Island, with some cloudiness, a few showers. Behind that system, we have a high pressure building across the islands, and that will create some colder temperature but windy conditions through the weekend. Any weather today, mix of sun and cloud. Apart from those cloudy skies at this point in time over the northwest and central Bahamas, cloudy with a few showers over the southeastern islands. Your high temperature reaching only 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy and breezy, but cool over the northwest and central Bahamas. Mostly cloudy skies with a few showers in the vicinity of that cold front over the southeastern islands. Your low temperature going down to 62 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 82 and 76. In Jamaica, 80 and 69. In Trinidad, 85 and 73. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 81 and 71. Across North America, Atlanta, 50 and 31. In Raleigh, 50 and 31. In Miami, 66 and 50. Dallas, Texas, 66 and 42. And Toronto, Canada, 27 and 21. As we go to the weekend, we expect some clearing to take place with some dry conditions through the next couple of days with some cooler temperatures. The temperature daytime will only reach the mid-70s, at nighttime upper 50s to lower 60s. That puts you up your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. 16 years has been the timeline for the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. Wow, down there in Exuma, always guaranteed to be a fun time. Very pleased. I'm back on the show, Charity. I'm the Director, Cultural and Authentic Events.
Good morning.
Within the Ministry of Tourism. Good morning, Charity. And Senior Manager of the Exuma Tourism Office, looking all distinguished here on Bahamas and Sunrise, Emmett Sanders. My brother.
How you doing there?
Good morning. Good morning. Good to have you back. It's that time of year again.
Yes, indeed.
Gotta love it. The festival is back.
It is back.
Yeah.
It's the 16th annual
Yeah.
Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival in picturesque Georgetown, Exuma, at the regatta site.
Yeah.
And so we're in full gale. It's going to be something for everyone. I would let Emmett perhaps talk about some of the things and why we do this, how important it is to the industry and for us overall as a people.
Now we have a lot of we have a lot of festivals. I mean, and I must say I've been enjoying them. I was at the True Festival the other day, and then of course the John Canoe Arts and Crafts last weekend.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, to me, it's just such a driver, not just for tourism, what we would define as persons coming to our show, but local
Absolutely.
tourism as well.
Absolutely.
And of course, everybody wants to go to Exuma, right?
Absolutely, everybody. That's my home.
Yes.
I like to say, although my paycheck is signed in Nassau, I work for the 7,300 people that live on the island of Exuma.
Right.
And this festival, what we've got going on is we are going to present what is best in Exuma and Bahamian talent, enterprise, and creativity over the 3 days of the event. Of course, the economic importance of such an event to the island is tremendous, because the infusion of new dollars is one thing, and not so much as we look at it from another perspective. Just to say that it's not all about dollars and cents, it's about us and the Exumas, where this festival, what it does, it so binds the community together, and what we talk about, civic pride and community solidarity, that is exemplified over the 3 days of this event in Exuma.
So when is it happening, and what can we expect over those 3 days?
Well, it's happening in 2 weeks.
Okay.
March 12th.
All right.
To 14th. we are going to present what's best in Bahamian culture in terms of theater, games, religion, music, and heritage. It's going to be a family-friendly event over those 3 days in Georgetown, Exuma.
All right, yeah, you say you name all the categories.
That's
obviously,
right.
I see here you also should have two types of concerts. You have a gospel concert and a secular
It kicks
concert.
off with a gospel on
Okay.
Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
Yes, it's always, I find that's tone.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like I said to someone, there's been years when we, after the gospel concert, it leaves you really on a high. And so the other nights need to catch up.
Catch up, okay.
Yes. And
right.
then of course on Friday and Saturday, it's really, I mean, we have the top artists performing. We have the Spang Band, who will be performing on Saturday, and Exuma's own Tropical Heat will be performing on Friday night. And not only that, we engage just about every entertainer or local band on the island. So the whole island is involved as it relates to the gospel concert. Numerous churches and groups are performing, and we're taking down Jay Mitchell and Simeon Ouden.
All the big names.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And you know, especially considering that what has happened recently in Grand Bahama, and I'm told that this is the second time that Simeon Ouden would have lost his home.
Yes, it
you know, and so we're so pleased to be able to have them to be a part of this event as well.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, it sounds like a fun time already.
It's going to be fun. She just mentioned the name of Jay Mitchell.
Yeah.
Jay is coming on there to perform on Thursday night and religious night. If that doesn't make your toes tingle, for those who remember Jay from way back when, I'm excited to be a part of the event.
You say you're an Exuma boy. I mean, you know, all places I believe in the country are special, and of course we take pride in where we are from. But I mean, what makes Exuma really different in this state?
Okay.
1 minute.
Right. I'm sorry for other sister islands in the Bahamas and some of our sister countries.
Right, yeah.
But Exuma we have been declared to have the clearest waters on the planet. And that was by our water so awed the astronauts, and they had to say that. And I believe the astronauts. Most of our activities in Exumas, it's marine based. We've got excursions to that international tourism phenomenon called the swimming pigs. It's the keys. We've got 365 keys, and one of the couple of things that make Exuma unique. As a tourism destination, the key to success is three things, simple. Access, awareness, and activity. This festival is going to deal with two of them, activities and create awareness of Exuma as a destination.
Excellent, excellent. So it's 2 weeks away. I guess you got to get the tickets now, right? Is the Ministry of Tourism coordinating any of that?
You know, for the
Travel
most part,
accommodations?
we really don't have to, because it's on the calendar of most Bahamians. And but in addition to that, they can feel free to call the Exuma Tourist Office at 336-2430. Another thing I want to mention, we have a culinary competition and a mixology competition. And this year, we're having Mr. Mix, Marv, who is a world-renowned chef. And so he will be appearing in Exuma as well. And after the competition, this, like Emmett says, this goes a long way. The kids, the winner, gets an opportunity to go to a college for a week. And also the bartender who wins, he comes to Nassau for a special seminar and competition. And so we give back as well.
Yeah. Excellent. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. We've been with Emmett Saunders, Senior Manager of the Exuma Tourist Office, and of course, Charity Ambrissa, Director, Cultural and Authentic Events within the Ministry of Tourism. Thank you so much for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thanks a lot, Phil.
Thank you. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want First Response on your side, call 32-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First Response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, February it was, because we're coming to the end of it now, Heart Month, a time to focus on cardiovascular health. It's unfortunate, but heart issues can affect at any age, and today we're going to discuss in particular pediatric heart issues, those issues that we diagnose from as early as newborn stages straight into teen years, and what can be done to treat them and diagnose them moving forward. Very happy to welcome a man who's given significantly to child's health care, especially through the Heart Foundation, Dr. Jerome Lightbourne, who's a pediatric cardiologist. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, Dr. Lightbourne, it's just been so wonderful even talking to you out there, and I'm so happy that you're going to be able to educate the Bahamian public on some of these issues that really impact a significant number of our children. Talk to me first then about congenital heart diseases that we find in newborns.
Well, the term congenital heart disease implies that a child was born with a cardiac condition.
Okay.
And keeping that in mind, there's a 1% risk, or just a little shy of that, of all babies being delivered of acquiring a congenital heart disease.
Okay.
That risk increases in certain conditions such as diabetes to 5%. Increases certain conditions. If a mommy had congenital heart disease before, she's a 5% chance of getting it. If a mommy had a normal left side lesion called a coarctation, or any other significance of the left side, something called the Georgia syndrome comes up, which means that child now has a 50% chance, subsequent lineage, 50% chance. That's high.
Yeah.
So fortunately, in the newborn period, we've made a great stride with that, and we do make a lot of diagnoses. So in that arena, it's really the neonatologists or the pediatricians or the primary care, whoever the primary caregiver is, that makes those diagnoses for us. Okay. And then they call the specialist in. They present either with persistent cyanosis, meaning persistent blueness of the skin and the tongue, which means a low oxygen state, because the heart is not able to pump blood too long and receive that oxygenated blood in the appropriate path. They can present with heart failure. They present with high pressure in the lung. They can present with decreased perfusion of the lower limb. But the myriad of anomalies in the neonatal period are quite severe, potentially, when it comes to congenital heart disease. So they can actually have a single ventricle instead of two.
Wow.
They can have the great vessels, I don't remember your schooling, but the aortic and pulmonary artery being switched.
Wow.
So the body is totally
on the opposite
working side.
Yeah.
So they don't get the oxygen they need to grow and to live. Or they can have some obstruction significant somewhere, an absence of different valves, veins being in the wrong place. All those things are possible.
And I mean, because I hear you talk about it, and I think now, because of course I'm a few months pregnant now, so I know, and I go and I check, and we hear the baby's heartbeat, and it's beating at 140 beats per hour or something along that line. This is not something that can be told before they come into the world?
Answer to that is yes.
Okay.
In 2020, definitely yes. We do something called fetal echocardiogram.
Okay.
So I'm a pediatric cardiologist. We go from intrauterine life to congenital heart disease until you die.
Okay.
That's what we do. So keeping that in mind, a fetal heart rate, I mean the rhythm, can only tell you abnormal rhythms like heart block and things like that.
Okay.
But every pregnant lady gets periodic scanning.
Right.
And the sonographer who does the scanning is supposed to be able to detect if there's something potentially wrong or something is wrong with the fetal heart.
Okay.
If something is wrong, then they refer you to someone like me to get a fetal echocardiogram.
Okay.
That needs to be done more often than it is in this country, though.
Okay. and I'm sure the country has a major ways to go. The Heart Foundation has been critical in just getting us to where we are. Of course, some of these conditions are diagnosed early on, and so you're able to come in early on and do what needs to be done, and then keep children on a regimen as they move along. Are there any diagnoses that occur later on, though, in childhood years as a teenager that parents may not be prepared for because it wasn't presented at the newborn stage?
I think for the most part, in 2020, in a developed country like the Bahamas, we pick most of them up early.
Okay.
We have an awesome cadre of neonatologists and pediatricians who really pick up those murmurs and everything, and I see them early.
Okay.
But there are conditions that are so quote-unquote missed, and some of those are like coarctation of the aorta. We have a narrowing of the aorta.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people present with hypertension later in life, even adulthood.
Right.
And hypertension because there's some obstruction to flow called a coarctation, narrowing of the arch of the aorta going onto the lower limb.
Mm-hmm.
That really causes a problem, has to be fixed. Some people present with little holes in the heart or heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they present with breathing fast.
Okay.
They present with getting tired. They present with that 2-year-old sitting in the corner rather than being able to run.
And
that
play, yeah.
good kid, which
Right.
doesn't exist in a 2-year-old. you need to know, right?
No, I have a 2-year-old, so I do know.
All right. And so, and there's other conditions they can get. Some people present with a fever, right?
Right.
And 5 days of fever, then they get something called Kawasaki disease, which could damage the coronary arteries in child young,
Wow.
right? And that's scary. They have a high risk of heart attack or later in life or dying of the disease itself.
Wow.
There are a lot of potential cardiac lesions
Okay.
that are risk in kids.
Okay.
And so parents need to know that if they have any concerns, any shortness of breath they can't explain, any chest pain they can't explain, any palpitations, any fatigue, any exercise-related anything, any limitation in exercise, you got to come see a pediatrician or a primary care giver, then get an appropriate referral. Some kids, are born with coronary vessels coming from the wrong part of the heart. So when they exercise, they get squeezed.
Right.
And that's what sudden cardiac death is. They actually drop dead and they die.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden that flow is cut off.
Yeah, and I remember cases like that. One in particular that's coming to mind a few years ago of an athlete that was playing basketball and just died. He might have been 14.
Right.
And so a lot of people, that took us aback. But I guess the thing here is that we need to continue to see our primary care physicians, make sure that children are seeing a pediatrician regularly so that anything being picked up that's abnormal can be discovered as soon as possible. Before we go, Doc, is there any way that we can support you? Because I know a lot of the work that you do comes directly from the Bahamas Heart Foundation. Obviously, the Heart Ball is tomorrow, and that's one way to support. But is there anything else that we, the general public, can do to help with cases like this that are incredibly expensive for newborns and for children, and the Heart Foundation assist with?
Hey, I think, without a doubt, I think if I had my choice, I would recommend $1 a day, for Bahamians a couple of times a year.
Okay.
If 345,000 Bahamians put in to make a difference, the average heart care now costs about $75,000 per case.
Wow.
And that's a significantly discounted rate.
Okay.
Based on the Heart Foundation and myself go into these institutions in the United States and bargaining back and forth, getting the price down. So how can you help? Sponsor the Heart Foundation. Every little bit helps.
Okay.
So we have not turned anybody down as yet, but we're very tight, and we have patients in the wings that need care. And the only entity in this town that supports indigent children that needs cardiac surgery or significant cardiac procedures, whether locally or abroad, is the Bahamas Heart Foundation.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Dr. Lightbourne. Certainly a lot to think about, and I hope the parents are paying attention. Not to be afraid, right? But to make themselves aware so they take the best action as soon as possible, and to remind them that nothing is abnormal for a reason. Like if a kid gets a fever, it's a fever. Check it out. If the kid is consistently tired, check it out. And so thank you for reminding us about that this morning.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
Business in the Box is your solution for business from Cable Bahamas. It's an internet, voice, mobile, and advertising solution all in one place. Get reliable internet, free domestic call, and a live corporate package, and free TV ad placement, all starting with packages as low as $164 a month. You can save over $3,000 a year. Just call 601-8911. That's 601-8911. And ask for Business in a Box from Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Terms and conditions apply.
One thing, two things. Blue thing, old things. Things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery,
a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, it's been Black History Month all month long, and we have been with historically black colleges and universities. This is the last segment, so very pleased to have with us this morning Dr. Jamil Minnis, OBGYN, an alumnus of Meharry Medical College and lecturer at Morehouse University, and Bathsheba Gibbs. She is the CEO of Southern Air and an alumna of Howard University. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I tell you, it's been just wonderful having you guys all month long. Just love the camaraderie. It seems though all of you know each other. But let's start with Howard University, because I believe Howard is just has such a tremendous reputation. It almost seems that everywhere you turn, so many alumni of Howard University are here in the Bahamas.
That is correct. Yeah. We're very proud of our alma mater, and Howard has produced quite a number of affluent individuals throughout the world. And particularly, we can see it right here in the Bahamas. We have a number of doctors, prominent doctors. Some have gone on to politics, such as Dr. Kendall Major as the Speaker of the House. And that says a lot, because Howard prepares you for leadership in any area that you choose.
There's so many names. How did you end up at Howard University?
I was fortunate because I was underprivileged at the time. My parents could not afford a university education, but throughout high school, I strived for excellence in my academics at the government high school, and I also I was very athletic at the time, and I used to run track and play volleyball, but I kind of stuck to the volleyball, and eventually I got a full scholarship at Howard University.
How was the experience? I mean, you always hear about the HU. I mean, how was the experience up at Howard? I was not too far away. I went to grad school at the University of Maryland. Of course, ended up on campus once or twice just visiting, but you could always feel the buzz and the vibe instantly.
Howard was a magnificent experience for me. It was different in lots of ways also. I had to adjust to the fact of being around so much activities around the black struggles, every day. You celebrating, black history, you're celebrating the black heroes. It was an educational experience for me, because I was not exposed to the level of racism that most of the individuals on that campus would have been exposed to. But it was very diverse, so it made you feel so much at home, being around persons from all over the world, your counterparts from the Caribbean that you would get the opportunity to bond with, hang with, and you get to meet lifelong friends at Howard University.
Yeah, excellent. Meharry, up there in Nashville, Tennessee. Maybe it's not as well known as Howard is, but certainly another distinguished school within the HBCU fraternity.
Yeah. And what made Meharry so special was that it was the first medical institute that was established, for black Americans at the time. And you had to look at the fact that, we have Fisk University, which is a historically black college, which is literally a block away as a campus. Tennessee State University, pretty close by. And so here was a place right after the Civil War where it was established by a white American that was happened to be traveling through a snowstorm, I believe, through Kentucky, and a black family kind of helped him along his way where he had gotten stuck. And so him and his family said we would repay you all back, this family, for helping us out. And so later on, when they became fortunate and wealthy, they actually went back and established a medical institute, and it was became the first black medical institute in the United States. And between them and Howard, they put out about 75% of all the black doctors in America.
Wow. So I mean, I'm pretty sure you took a look at both, but what made you decide upon Meharry?
I think I like Meharry based on the fact that, being from the Bahamas, I didn't want to go too far up north where they were struggling with cold, and, and we do get a little bit of cold in Nashville, but it's not like, being up in the Maryland, D.C. area. So that was one of my biggest things, was wanting to stay close to the South.
But you're wearing two hats here this morning, also with Morehouse University School of Medicine. You lecture there.
And that is actually, so after I trained at Meharry, what I did was do the residency match to look for training for OBGYN. And one of the places that I ranked high was Morehouse, because having had the HBCU experience in Meharry, I realized that I did undergrad at Emory, which very un-HBCU like, and I realized that there was a different feel going through Meharry, and that one of the things they told us is look to your left, look to your right. At Emory, they were like, that person probably not going to be there when you graduate. At Meharry, they're like, do whatever you can do in these 4 years to make sure that when you graduate, you look to the left, you look to the right. That same person is right there, and that you help. Culture. So that's a whole different mindset to it. And so that was, so I said, you know what, I want to keep with that HBCU feeling. So I matched with Morehouse, went back to Atlanta, and it definitely was a great experience, because coming through my training program at OBGYN at Morehouse, we were complete like a family.
Yeah. Excellent. I mean, when you think about, today's Bahamas in 2020, you have so many students that are going to be graduating this year, and, if they haven't made up their minds yet, I mean, what would you say to them as they look to continue their education, particularly as it relates to possibly enrolling at Howard University?
I would say to them, think Howard first, but think about a HBCU, because it offers them the opportunity to get the experience of learning in a diverse environment, yes, but still among peers that understand them and not being exposed to the microaggression that exists in most of the predominantly white institutions. And also to think that, these institutions provide the same level of education that is provided in the other institutions.
I mean, and just to take that question just even a little bit deeper and more particularly to black, young men, from the Bahamas. I mean, based on your experiences, I mean, it is a different type of approach. I mean, a camaraderie of sorts.
Oh, definitely. You just the feel when you're on campus, versus at other institutes. I would actually say that they actually have sort of a feed system from the HBCUs into some of these other places. For example, Meharry and Morehouse School of Medicine. We take in a great percentage from some of these black HBCUs, and that they look at those students that are interested in medicine or interested in furthering their graduate degree. They start at a HBCU. They like to help them, welcome them to another HBCU and do their master's degree, their MD degree, their PhD degree.
Excellent. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. Again, we are completing, Black History Month here. Any final words as it relates to the HBCUs?
I would say to all talented young students who are preparing to graduate, to come out to the HBCU fair on March 14th and 15th at Bahamas, and they can go online and register at thinkhbcu242.com. There are over 20 universities that are going to be present there, that are going to be giving scholarships right on site. So I would encourage every individual who's looking for a great institution to come on.
Definitely, I agree. And you don't have to worry that, I don't want to be in a certain state or go to a certain area. We have HBCUs all over the United States. There's Tuskegee to Xavier to Florida. There's just all scattered all across the United States are these HBCUs, and the experience you're going to get there is priceless.
Excellent. That's Dr. Jamil Minnis, OBGYN, and of course an alumnus of Meharry Medical College and also lecturing over there at Morehouse University. And Bathsheba Gibbs, CEO of Southern Air. We're going to talk about Southern Air next time you come on the show. Alumni of Howard University. Thank you so much once again.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, you're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
We get up early every morning to offer safe and dependable service. Where quality service is paramount. An excellent travel experience is priority. Connecting the islands of the Bahamas to the world. Bahamas Air. We don't just fly here, we live here.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Philip Simon Jr.
We still got more to come in the second half?
We still got more to come in the second half. We're going to be talking with Dr. Hubert Edwards about leadership. I'm still smiling. So the HBCU series all month long has just been so impressive, man. I mean, the colleges themselves are great, but it's just the quality of the outputs, just now Mahari College and Morehouse, and then of course Howard, the granddaddy. So many alumni. I mean, we've got to give shout outs to, Margaret, Aubrey, and I think Fred. I'm not sure, but, and then Kari.
Yeah, and Kari went to Howard. and they're just, I look at certainly HBCUs in general, what they've been able to do and achieve, and I look at the people that come from them, even some of my friends that I've made abroad that went to HBCUs, and there's a certain level of pride and entrepreneurship and innovation and excellence that really is born there. So it's been great to do the series, and of course we want to remind people that that fair will take place on the 15th,
the 14th
and 15th at
yes.
Bahamar, and so you can still sign up for that. But awesome and great for Bahamas at Sunrise, of course, to be a sponsor in supporting this HBCU College Fair. In addition to talking to Hubert Edwards, we're also going to be speaking with the podiatric community outreach clinics, learning more about that this morning, and then of course Zanta is here celebrating their Centennial Awards.
Yeah, definitely. But it has gotten a little bit cooler, and Godfrey says it's going to get even cooler over the weekend. Here's Godfrey Burnside with our second look with Weather at Sunrise.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First in Insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Phil, and good morning, Bahamas. Yes, I can look at weather sunrise for cold front around Inaugural Make one this morning. It's drifting towards the southeast. Spring with some cloudings, a couple of showers in that vicinity. High pressure is building across the northwest and central Bahamas. You have some clouds this morning. A lot of it burn off by afternoon. And you have a mix of sun and clouds today. Those temperatures won't dip at all. But in the marine forecast, those winds today northerly at 10 to 15 knots, 2 to 4 feet all the islands. But those winds will start increasing by late afternoon into nighttime hours. We'll have an advisory posted because tomorrow those winds will be northwest and north at 15 to 25 knots. So seas building 5 to 8 feet. And then on Sunday, those winds become northeast at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 10:39 this morning. Your next low tide at 4:53 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 6 minutes past 11. Sunset 6:11 this evening. Rises one at 6:34. UV index 6. Your water temperature 74 degrees Fahrenheit, and your moon phase now moving towards the first quarter. Your extended look. Keep some clouds again tonight into tomorrow across the islands. Those showers basically in the southeast Bahamas. Drier air masses moving in across the islands. So over the weekend, we're looking at those temperatures being in the mid-70s daytime, the upper 50s, low 60s at nighttime. But the warming trend will start on Monday with those temperatures start moving in the upper 70s to lower 80s daytime and we warm up during the week. That's what's wrapping your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Dame Doris Sands Johnson, born June 19, 1921, was a Bahamian teacher, suffragette, and politician. She was the first female Senate appointee and the first woman granted a leadership role in the Senate. Once in the legislature, she was the first woman to be made government minister and then was elected as the first woman president of the Senate. She was the first woman to serve as acting Governor General of the Bahamas and was honored as Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire by Queen Elizabeth II. Born on New Providence Island, she completed her secondary education and became a teacher. After teaching for 17 years, Johnson returned to school to earn a master's degree and doctorate degree in educational administration. She made a compelling speech to the Bahamian legislature in 1959 pleading for women's suffrage and subsequently made a similar plea to the colonial office in London. Once the right to vote had been secured, Johnson immediately entered politics in 1961, running in the first election in which women were allowed to participate. Though she lost her bid, she worked with the Progressive Liberal Party to gain Bahamian independence. When the country gained its freedom from colonial rule, Johnson was appointed to the Senate and served the government until her death in 1983.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Barry University, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Bahamas Podiatric Medical Association, is launching a series of podiatry outreach clinics starting this Saturday. Here to give us more information, we're very happy to welcome Dr. Monique Mitchell, podiatrist and health systems officer, and Dr. Danny Johnson, who's the president of the Podiatric Medical Association here in the Bahamas. Lady, gent, doctor, good morning and welcome to Bahamas and Sunrise.
Good morning, thank you.
Now, podiatry, it's not a word that I'm familiar with. So first let's explain what type of doctor it is that you are.
Podiatry is the study, treatment of the lower extremity of the human body.
Okay.
The foot, ankle, and all the structures that innervate it.
Okay.
It is a craft that really came out of the army from foot soldiers across the ages, of course, and now has been a super specialty for many years, very popular in first world countries, and now is in the Bahamas, I think, in its rightful place.
Yeah.
And so we have an association. We have 4 active podiatrists in the Bahamas, 5, active podiatrists in the Bahamas. We need a few more. I'm the president of the association. Dr. Mitchell is the vice president of the association. We have a massive conference that happens every October. So you can mark down your calendars. And our main goal right now is to cut the rate of amputations in the diabetic population by 50% over the next 5 years.
Okay, well that's an excellent goal to have, but as soon as you told me what it was specifically that you do, that's immediately what I thought of, because I think so many of us deal with diabetes here, and the complications of that, and we see these amputations, so it made so much sense that we would be beginning to focus on this more as a nation. And you guys are actually doing something special because you're starting a series of clinics.
Yes.
Are these free clinics?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So talk to me about the clinics and what the hope is that you've set out for in terms of getting those clinics started.
Okay, so Barry University is one of the universities in the United States that actually have a podiatry school. And so in collaboration with them, the Ministry of Health and our association has joined in. We wanted to be a part of, well, we've been a part, but we wanted to have a greater part in the response after the Dorian hurricane, Barry University actually reached out to us to have a role as well. And so what we're going to do is have free podiatry clinics throughout New Providence this time. Next time we'll go to either Freeport or Abaco. And we're actually starting on Sunday. They're coming in on Saturday, but we're actually starting clinics on Sunday. The first series will be at the Foot and Ankle Institute. That's Dr. Johnson's office on the Fort Hill. We're going to be there from 12 till 5, and we're going to provide care for all foot and ankle ailments. Anything that you would see a podiatrist for, including diabetes, including foot pain, any deformity, any type of condition that will allow that we can treat, they will be treated at that time. We actually have a team of 14 persons from Barry University and an additional 2 from Florida that will be coming in. So we have a great team, and then of course our association will be working with them as well.
Excellent. And this is really exciting, because to go from 5 to now that's about what, 22, 23 that'll be here. That's really excellent for people to come in and make sure that they're seeing about those ailments. And I like the fact that you mentioned some examples of them, because I think people take pain for granted and just assume that it's always going to hurt or it's always going to be this way. But they should really come and check it out if they've had an issue with the lower extremity.
I just also wanted to say that we're not only going to be on Sunday at the Foot and Ankle Institute. Throughout the week, we're going to also be at our polyclinics. Now, you know, Dr. Johnson is our only government podiatrist, and he's at South Beach. And
If I'm already got it, you're all in trouble.
Now you got big shoulders.
All in trouble, boy.
So during the week, we'll also be moving. This team will be moving to the different polyclinics. So on Monday, which is the first day, we'll be at actually the Flamingo Gardens Clinic, and we're going to be there from about 1. So it'll be in the afternoon session. Okay. So and then on Tuesday and Thursday, we'll be at South Beach, Dr. Johnson's home on South Beach Clinic. On Wednesday, we'll be at Fleming Street Clinic, and then on Friday, we'll be at Elizabeth Estate. So all of them most of them are going to be in the afternoon, so about 1 o'clock. On Wednesday, we'll be at Fleming Street at 12, and then on Friday, we'll be a little bit earlier at Elizabeth Estate for about 11 o'clock or so.
So you cover all of Nassau.
Cover all of Nassau, which is good, because obviously some people with foot issues still have issues getting around. And so not everybody will be able to get to the Fort Hill for Sunday afternoon. So that's excellent news to hear.
You come into your neighborhood.
And that's good, because you get going to where the people are. In terms of registration, do people need to sign up to say make an appointment in advance to come in and see the doctor?
We'd like for them to their contact numbers. On our sheet, the flyer is out there. 322-5402. The other one, 601-1392, or they can also call 502-4855. And call your local clinic to find out when the podiatry team is visiting. And for people who get mixed up with the word, just think foot dog. Foot dog, you got foot pain? Well, we're your answer.
Okay. And
all ailments of the lower extremity. This is the foundation of the human body, but is neglected, just like car tires are to a car.
Until they go out,
wrong. And everybody comes in a rush, like fix this, and sometimes it's too late to save the tire. So we're trying to get this message out about access, awareness, and action.
Okay. Oh, I like that. The 3 A's: access, awareness, and action. And I think for people, especially if you know that you've dealt with diabetes, because I had a friend of mine just hit her toe and it was swollen, and I said, this isn't something you can take lightly, you're a diabetic, right? And so you want to make sure that within at least a day you've checked that out to make sure it's not something more. So we really want to encourage people to do that. And again, they can call you in advance, not to necessarily reserve a spot, but just to make you aware that they'll be coming in, so you guys can obviously staff accordingly based on those numbers.
We're not overwhelmed. I used to do free clinics up at my office before. You get 50, then 100 people, and everyone comes at the same time and wants to be seen first. So, give us a buzz, call your clinic so we can run it properly. There's an international crew. Some of the Barry people, she is a Barry alumnus. I used to be an associate professor at Barry. Barry has been in the Bahamas for many, many years at the Queen's College campus. We want to congratulate them and the ministry for this collaboration. And other teams from other specialties will be also in Abaco and Freeport next week, but doing other things. And we'll report on that soon.
All right, well, sounds good. Please come back and let us know how it went, and then keep us informed about the progress that you're making as an association. And I'm hoping that we have some young people watching now who are seeing you and hearing you talk about it and deciding they're going to add to the number of 5.
Definitely.
So thank you both for joining us this morning.
Diabetes is such a big problem that we definitely need more persons assisting with the care.
Certainly.
And so preventable. So we can do better.
So we'll talk about the eating healthy and stuff at another time.
Our national program, just before we go, is LEAP, Lower Extremity Amputation Prevention.
Okay.
That's what we are responsible for.
Okay.
Project LEAP.
Okay.
So we want to see people not having amputations at age 20, 30, 40.
Wow.
That is absolutely a no-no in the 21st century and preventable. Should never happen.
Certainly. Well, powerful information. You started this morning by giving us the access to it. So we want to thank you for making us aware. See, I got 2 of my A's in there.
There you go.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've got more to come. Before we get to any of that, we're going to take a look at our weekend calendar.
Good morning, Sunrisers. This your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. Reckless Pirates Carnival Band costume reveal. Forbidden Secrets. Friday, February 28th. National Training Agency. Lodgson Road, 9 p.m. until. Ciroc the Night Away. Friday, February 28th. The Art Room, East Bay Street. Doors open at 9 p.m. Enigma Carnival presents Midnight Mass. Foam, powder, water. Friday, February 28th. Arawak Beach. Gates open at 11 p.m. Bahamas Humane Society presents Party for the Animals. Saturday, February 29th, The Retreat Gardens, Village Road, 7 p.m. Bahamas Press Club 5th Media Awards. Saturday, February 29th, British Colonial Hilton, 7 p.m. KO Productions presents Mardi Gras 4, Deeds for Deeds. Saturday, February 29th, Waterloo, 8 p.m. until. Sir Victor Sassoon Bahamas Heart Foundation Annual Heart Ball. Saturday, February 29th, Bahamar, 8 p.m. until. Dress is black tie. YBE presents Leap Year Foam Fest. Saturday, February 29th, Botanical Gardens, 9 p.m. until. Alpha Sound Promotions presents Return Fest, featuring DJ Overdose, DJ Fresh, DJ Bravo, and the Miami Dream Team. Sunday, March 1st, Breezes Hotel, Cable Beach, 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's your live weekend calendar. Now, if your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kalbury@tclbahamas.com. Alive. Believe in best.
Welcome back to the show. Of course, I'm going to admit it, this is one of my favorite segments here on Bahamas at Sunrise. Anytime we have Hubert Edwards of HE Global and Managing Consultant, Next Level Solutions, I'm excited because we're talking some real serious stuff. Leadership is at the pinnacle of all that we do. Hubert, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure.
You had a quote recently that says, failing to embrace integrity and honesty robs leadership of its soul. So much to unpack within that single quote, but you know, when we talk about robbing leadership of its soul, let's start with the definition of soul. I mean, if you're saying, if you don't embrace integrity and if you don't embrace honesty, it just makes leadership null and void.
Yeah, that's true. You see, the thing is, if you think about your human soul, you know, it's the essence of you. It's bigger than your physicality. So at a very fundamental level, the soul of leadership rests on integrity, it rests on honesty, it rests on the ideas of equity, fair, and justice. And we naturally know this because when we are in situations where we are treated badly, then we figure, you know, something is going wrong here. So when you have leadership or a leader and the systems, the process, the programs that it is undertaking, right, is reduced or integrity is taken away, then all of a sudden it's lose that essence and it becomes less than it ought to be.
So that means you don't have leadership then, because so is there such a thing as bad leadership or maybe it's horrible leaders?
Well, there's always leadership, but the question is whether it's effective leadership. So the idea behind leadership is my ability to inspire you. That's the basic of leadership. I'm going to inspire you, and if I'm going to inspire you, I need to be adding value to you. If I'm going to make your life better, if I'm going to show you a better future, if I'm going to show you how we are going to achieve the corporate goal or the national goal, once you buy into that, then you see value in following me. Now, if you take away that value, and integrity does that, then what the lack of integrity does, it starts to destroy that. So the leader, therefore, isn't able to lead on the basis of inspiration, and he has to use something else. And usually, some leaders find themselves in position of authority, and the authority come with the office or come with the uniqueness of the circumstances, and they then use that uniqueness of the circumstance to kind of like knock you over the head, to cajole, because if you cannot inspire, then you obviously have to manipulate.
Right. I mean, but you can inspire for good and you can inspire for bad.
Yes, and this is one of the things which sometimes we miss. You know, leadership is not necessarily good or bad. Effective leadership is not necessarily good or bad.
It's just the ability to inspire.
What is it that we are trying to achieve? You know, when we look at what happened to the Jews and the individual who led them, he was an effective leader. When you look at what happened in Iraq back in the day, he was an effective leader.
Yes.
When you look at what happened in India with Gandhi, he was an effective leader. Now, history remembers one set as a good leader and the other as rogues.
So I guess that would answer the question then. A person, if he lacks integrity, can you be an effective leader?
You can be an effective leader if you lack integrity. If the outcome or the output that you're going for is something which is negative. You know, so certainly even thieves or even gangsters have great leaders. But the fact of the matter is we look at it from the point of view that our objective is to create something which is positive, is to do things which are good. If you're trying to lead person on a voluntary basis, if you're trying to inspire a person to be good, if you're trying to move society forward, then obviously you do not want persons to be acting with lack of integrity.
Let's jump back to this trust factor here. When trust is eroded and a leader no longer inspires, what kind of behavior does he or she resort to? It's a manipulation.
It's a manipulation. It's using individuals to fight against other individuals. It's pulling out the knife in the dark of the night. It's doing the things which are antithetic to fairness, equity, and justice. So at all points in time, you want a leader who is there pulling persons along, who is there driving the process, who is moving towards the objective, but doing it in such a way that individuals are moving with him almost under their own whim, because they're inspired by his action and his behavior, and his behavior is therefore consistent with what he's espousing.
How do rewards factor into this? I mean, you have positive and negative rewards, and how do you maintain that as relates to this integrity factor that you're talking about?
Well,
under leadership,
you see, the rewards sometimes may be physical. So you come to work and you want to be paid, but ultimately, I like to say to the person, the journey may be corporate. Or the objective may be corporate, but the journey is individual. The individual is always looking for something out of this. If I'm going to be under your leadership, then I'm looking for mentorship. I'm looking for networking. I'm looking for what can add value to my own life journey. And so it's important that you understand where the rewards lie, and the effective leader uses that and uses that in an integrous way to help to inspire the individual to go further than they would by themselves.
All right, Hubert, I don't know when you're writing a book, if you have one already, but how can people, reach you?
Well, I'm on social media, and my number is 376-8951. If you want to contact me, always available, willing to have discussions around these topics.
All right, Hubert Edwards, global and managing consultant with Next Level. This is Next Level stuff. Next Level Solutions. My brother, thank you so much
for having me.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We're going to lead and turn it over to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Phil. Well, the Zonta Club of Nassau is celebrating its centennial award ceremony, where they plan to honor several outstanding women who advanced the status of females in our local communities. Here to tell us more about the club and the event, very happy to welcome President Latoya Johnson and Director Monique Forbes. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas to Sunrise, ladies.
Good morning. Thank you.
100 looks good on y'all. Like, y'all don't look to be 100.
Oh, no. Carrying the torch.
Just carrying the torch. And I think that's an exciting part of Zonta, to be able to see a legacy live on for 100 years of helping women and improving the lives of women and children. A beautiful mantra. What is the exact mission of Zonta Clubs International?
The Zonta Club the mission is to advance the status of women and girls worldwide.
Okay.
And we do that through a lot of projects that go on in the different areas in the different countries. But overall, our goal and our mission is to leave an impact on the world, and particularly to uplift, to empower women and girls so that they can continue to do the great work and the great things that women have been doing so well in the past.
All right. And so Zonta Club of Nassau in particular, because there are two different Zonta Clubs that we have here in Providence. And Zonta Club of Nassau in particular will be doing something to celebrate and honor those women that you've seen kind of impact the community. Can you talk to me about the Centennial Award ceremony and the point of it?
Sure. So the Centennial Award ceremony, Zonta International is celebrating their 100 years. We turned 100 on November 8th. Last year, 2019.
I remember.
Yes, we did have cake. And so what the international organization would have said is, okay, in the biennium, because we go with bienniums for international organizations, we'll be celebrating the whole biennium from 2018 to 2020.
Okay.
So within that biennium, they would have asked all of the clubs, can you do something to just make persons in your communities aware that Zonta is 100, how long we've been doing this work with advancing the status of women and girls, and additionally, how about empowering and honoring some ladies in the community that would have done some, continue to do work inside your local communities, and in that way, we would even spread the message even further and let the women know that, Zonta is happy and Zonta is pleased that you're doing exactly what it is that our mission and our status is to help women and girls worldwide.
Okay. And so who are some of these awardees that will be receiving this great acknowledgement from Zonta?
So we would be awarding, first and foremost, our charter president, Judy Monroe, Mrs. Judy Monroe, and she is going to receive a Lifetime Member Award, and our charter vice president, Mrs. Vilma Thompson-Curling, she will also be receiving a Lifetime Member Award. And then when it comes to our champions, and that's what we're going to call these ladies in the community, we would reach out to some of our organizations that we partner with that primarily do a lot of work in enhancing the status of women and girls in our communities, like the Crisis Center, the AIDS Foundation, PACE. So putting forward, I'll give you the names, Dr. Mildred Hall Watson, she is a forerunner for PACE. We have one of the Crisis Center volunteers, Mrs. Charmaine Goodman Davis. She will be honored. From some of our clubs, our Golden Z clubs, we will have a student, Miss Sierra Ferguson. She's going to be honored. So even as young as down to the student level. And also from our Golden Z club at the University of Bahamas, we have Miss Ethegra Simonet.
Yes, my Sora, my good Sora. And you guys also launched something interesting with an essay competition, right? Yes. So talk to me about that, Monique. What was involved with the essay competition? And my apologies, Michelle. Talk to me about that and let me know what was involved with the essay competition. And I heard the winners being announced today.
Oh, yes. Well, to be eligible, the student has to be between the ages of 14 and 17. Okay, and in addition to that, they have to ensure that their essay is between 500 and 700 words. So it was awesome to receive essays from both young men and women.
Excellent.
Yes.
So men wrote as well.
Yes.
All right. So what was the theme of the essay?
Our theme was making an impact to create gender equality.
Excellent that young men were involved with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so our winner, our first place winner, will be eligible to travel to New York to attend the UN General Assembly to see our Foreign Affairs Minister or our Prime Minister address the Assembly. So it's a great opportunity for the teacher and the student.
Fantastic. So the teacher gets to go as well.
Yes.
Oh,
that's a bonus.
win it. Yeah, that is an awesome experience. And where will that announcement be made today?
Well, we normally will send it out via email to the winners, and then for the persons who did not, we'll let them know. But the other awesome beauty of it is our Centennial Award ceremony is going to be held on March 8th, Sunday, March 8th, which is internationally recognized as International Women's Day.
Right.
And we also we always try to tie our UN Essay Awards contests and that around, the theme is around International Women's Day. So the students will send them the notification who the winners are, and then at the award ceremony we will be recognizing our essay competition winners there.
Excellent.
They
So
will be
Michelle,
there.
is it open to the general public, the award ceremony?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so it's March 8th. What time does it start?
It starts at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And that's at Government House?
Balmoral.
Balmoral.
Yes.
Fancy.
Yes.
All right. So that's the Balmoral Club. And is there a cost associated with tickets for the event?
Yes, there's a donation of $100, and I'd like to say that this is also a fundraising event for the organization. And what we do is when we raise funds, we put our funds back into the community. So all of those organizations that I was spoken about, those are organizations that we support and we provide services for, we provide goods for to assist women and girls in need. So this is also a fundraising opportunity. Anybody who wants to put an ad in our booklet and help us to raise funds or just to sponsor this event, we greatly appreciate it because it goes back into the community and helps to support women and girls and help us to fulfill our mission.
All right, excellent. Well, I really want to encourage people to come out again. That's March 8th,
Sunday,
3 p.m.
March
at the Balmoral Club.
Yes.
It's Sunday, and you'll be seeing some of our young people get honored, but also
Yes.
some real upstanding citizens in our community who've committed to just helping women and girls. And the Chinese say women hold the path to the sky, right? That's a Chinese proverb. And the reminder is just that we are all better off when everybody succeeds and is able to hold up that portion of the sky.
Correct.
So with that in mind, how can they contact you if they want to get tickets or even to purchase ad sales?
They can contact us, Donta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com.
Okay. Donta Club of Nassau at hotmail.com.
And the phone contact is 807-3021
All right.
on our mobile device.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us this morning. I hope that the crowds will come out and support you as you do this award centennial and certainly in celebration of International Women's Day, period, which certainly should be honored. But congratulations on 100 years as an organization. And then, of course, for all the work that you're doing here in Nassau and the Bahamas worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
This is Eddie, and Eddie's a change counter. This is Sean. Sean doesn't have to count change because when Sean purchases a plan with Alive, it's VAT inclusive. Keep things simple, just like Alive's all-new VAT-inclusive prepaid plans with more talk, more text, and even more data. So don't be an Eddie. Freedom simplified. Alive. Believe in best.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, I did. Certainly, always. Looking forward to the weekend, though. I don't know about this cold weather.
Yeah, well, I think the cold weather is good. I think it's probably one of the last cold weather spells we'll get for the year. So, cuddle up, stay in bed, enjoy the weekend, whatever it is that you choose to do.
Absolutely.
We'll be back here, rain, shine, or cold on Monday.
See you soon.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.